Well, is that if you're going to be a professional, number one thing you have to do is find a way, by hook or by crook, to show up consistently and do your job. And even on the days that you don't feel like it, you show up. Now, what's the difference between the pro and the amateur is that the pro finds a way to keep showing up even when they don't feel like it, whereas the amateur has the luxury of not showing up when they don't feel like it because the amateur is not being paid. And the third day is that day when you really don't feel like working. How you show up on that day is what makes you a pro, because it's easy to show up, John, when you feel good. Now, what about when you missed your last 10 sales calls, or the leads are coming in slowly, or you haven't gotten any great results in the last 3 weeks and everything's looking terrible? How you show up that day? That's how we find out who the true pros are. The true pros show up when it's not going well and when things are not easy. And gas in the tank is what is driving you. Like, what's your real reasons? What is your reason for doing what you're doing? So the gas in my tank has always been about competition, maximizing myself. So competing against the best version of myself, while at the same time knowing that that best version of myself can probably beat all of these other people out here. So what do I have to do to win the game? Well, if you really think about it, a lot of times, well, I'll tell you something that most people don't think about is that if you ask most people, what's one internal trait you want to have more of? Most people would say they want to be more confident, want to believe in themselves more, have healthier self-image, higher level of self-esteem. Which is a good idea, because if you have more confidence, theoretically, you will show up a different way. People will respond to you differently. You will try more things. And assuming you have any level of ability, you'll probably achieve more things. The challenge is most people don't know how to go about getting confidence. Instead, what you want to do is become it. And the framework we use for this is what we call the super you. The super you is about you being still you, but at the highest possible level of yourself. And the key to the super you is not the add-ons that give you more confidence. And the key thing that you eliminate to step up your confidence, John, is you have to give yourself permission to stop being the person you've always been. So is no longer being the person that you've always been and stop conforming to being that same person. And when I talk about that, some people say, okay, I get the whole thing about being more confident, Dre, but what if I have too much confidence? What if I go overboard and I start offending people, or I start putting myself out there in a way that puts people off because of how I am? And I'll ask questions. I'll ask this question to audiences all the time. Then I say, okay, now that all of you got that, now I want you to think about all the times in the last year when you had something to say and you said not only that, but more than that. All right, you saw an opportunity and you took it, where there was something that you wanted to do and you did it. And all of these, I want you to think of the times that all of those things went. When you think of all the times when too much confidence bothered you, got in your way, slowed you down, or hurt you in your life or in your business. And I say it in a real sarcastic way, but everybody gets the point and they all start laughing in spite of themselves. Because, John, they realize that they can't think of one.